Today's episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Losing my job and taking a break from the podcast at the same time felt so weird to me, made me feel a little lost. Thankfully, BetterHelp has been a great way for me to talk to a therapist and make sure I'm in a great headspace during this time.
If you guys aren't familiar, BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who is trained to listen and give you helpful, unbiased advice. You'll be matched to a therapist usually within 48 hours so you can get started fast. And if your first therapist isn't a match, don't worry. BetterHelp allows you to switch therapists for free until you find the right match. I actually had to switch my therapist twice before I found my current one, and when I tell you, it is so worth it to find somebody who truly understands me and can help navigate my anxiety.
It's super simple to get started. You can use our link, betterhelp.com/betweenusgirlies. You answer a few questions, and BetterHelp will match you to a professional who has years of experience helping people with struggles like yours.
One of the great things about BetterHelp is you can do it all from your phone or computer via phone call, video chat, or messaging, however you feel most comfortable.
BetterHelp is truly the easiest way possible to talk to a therapist, and I'm so happy Between Us Girlies has a code to share the therapy experience with our viewers. Let BetterHelp connect you to a therapist who can support you all from the comfort of your own home. Visit betterhelp.com/betweenusgirlies during sign up and enjoy a special discount on your first month.
Thank you, BetterHelp.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Between Us Girlies. I'm Lindsay.
I'm Bailey.
I'm Casey.
And I'm Bran.
And boy, oh boy, do we have an episode packed full of honestly really good conversation, or I'm hoping so. But before we get into it, how was everybody's weekend?
It was good. I don't really know.
Yeah, it was what did we even do this weekend?
We went to Kelly's pop-up.
Oh, right.
Trash Vintage, the cute new trash vintage store. What is it? Like, that's thrifty? Like, shows thrift?
Well, did you guys know there's a difference technically between like thrifted and vintage?
No.
Yes.
No.
Like,
I learned that the hard way because I posted "Let's go thrifting" on TikTok once, and I went to a vintage store and I got cussed out.
Oh.
yeah, it's like thrifting is like your Goodwills, and then vintage is like your elevated, like what Kelly's store is.
Okay.
I think it's one of those things where it's like an industry thing. Like, I feel like people in the industry can tell the difference, but to me, it's like, I don't mean any offense if I say thrifting. I think it's the same thing, but I did think that was funny. I learned that this weekend.
All right.
Oh, that's
good
so
to know.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, like thrifting is truly like you're buying stuff for like $3 and $6 at like a Goodwill's, a Savers, like a consignment store. Like vintage shopping like can be super expensive if you buy like a Dior bag from the 90s that's in good condition. Like, it's truly just shopping, but for like vintage pieces that like are one of a kind. You can't get them anywhere else because they're just not sold. I got scolded when I said that I was vintage shop or thrifting and I was vintage shopping.
I guess Kelly's is kind of vintage because she has like a limited t-shirt at her place that I low-key want so bad. It's such a throwback. Like,
This is the second time you mentioned it. You should go back and grab it.
I got these shorts there today.
Oh, I love those.
Thank you. Some jorts, girls. But they're like Wranglers, but I also probably won't be able to find these ever again. I mean, maybe. But there's a limited t-shirt I want so bad, and I should get it.
It's so funny. Kelly was like my style crush, me and Bailey's style crush for literally like, I don't even know how long. I just love everything she wears. She has such cool style. And then she reached out to me to do her social media. And I was like, please, I would be honored. But she had her grand opening this weekend and it was really fun.
Yeah, so we did that. Then we did lunch, like that pipeline, shopping and lunch. I feel like it was good.
Guys, so Sunday I went to the mall, which I have not been to the mall in so long.
Which one?
Cherry Hill. I went to Sephora. And I might as well been at like a middle school playground during recess.
It's hell.
It was I've been there during Black Friday. I've been there on like big sale days. Like, I have been to stores. I used to work in a mall, Michael Kors. Like, there is nothing that compares to the craziness that was Sephora on Sunday.
Oh, God.
It was so bad when I was checking out. Like, it was so funny because the person checking me out was so professional at first. She was like, hi, welcome to Sephora, given the whole thing. And then I was like, is it always like this? And she just broke character instantly. And she was like, this is hell. She was like, I am so miserable. She was like, I hate these kids. They're so insane. And she just like instantly broke character. I was like, girl, you need to get out of here. I was like, when are you done? She was like, I have 3 more hours.
Oh my God. That sucks because like if it's a nice Sunday, it's summer, why are kids at the mall?
And unsupervised.
Like,
That's how their parents do them. They drop them off so they don't have to deal with
they
them.
were running around, knocking over all the free samples. I couldn't get to like anything. And I never want to talk to employees, but I actually wanted to ask someone for help.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find anyone because they were fucking wrangling all the kids.
that's annoying.
Yeah.
That's the annoying part. It's like because like Sephora, I feel like I go there for specific things. And when you want to go in the specific aisles, you can't because those nasty little kids are in there rummaging around and like playing with the testers. That also pisses me off that they play with the testers and just destroy the the setup. It's so nasty.
Have y'all seen those things where it's like doing my makeup with testers and these people will go into Sephora and do a full face of makeup using testers? I can't make this up.
No,
Oh my
they
God.
don't.
That is called unsanitary.
Giving staph
101.
infection.
No, it's giving MRSA. It's giving all.
Oh,
We need to talk about something more
Yeah.
lighthearted.
Didn't
Yeah.
you guys go out on Friday? How was that?
oh, we did. We hit the
I
town.
forgot we did that. What did we do again?
So we bopped around. We went to Morgan's Pier.
Oh, we bopped
And I said that's a
around.
place of the summer, but apparently it's a place of the summer every summer.
It is.
Yeah.
For the past like 6 summers.
Well, we actually went there for dinner. So we went there kind of early. And we were at a table that was super windy, so we moved inside. So we got a great ear of the DJ. And we were not inside, but under the tent.
I was
Sorry.
like, what the
Casey's
fuck
looking
is
at me like I'm
inside?
crazy.
I got you.
No, under the tent. And we got the perfect like earful of the music. The first DJ before
DJ Joe Brosco.
Yeah, before Joe Briscoe, like he was eating down. Like it was, he might be having.
He played Karma by JoJo
JoJo
Siwa.
Siwa.
But he was also playing like, I forgot the other bops. It was like bops that we played in 2014, 2015. Like specific, like that specific category of like, I was like, oh, this is nice. But I feel like I like Morgan's Pier food because it's a gastropub, really. And I feel like they change their menu every year. I don't know what I got. Some black bean sliders.
I don't know if I've ever said on the podcast that I'm gluten-free, but for the listeners, I'm gluten-free. And when I think about like meals that are worth eating gluten, I think about like the flatbreads at Morgan's Pier. Like they're
They still
thick
have
as
'em.
fuck flatbreads. They're so cheesy and thick. And it's just like that to me is like my dream because it just is like everything I can't eat and it looks so good.
Wow, yeah.
Morgan Pierce, their food is bussin'.
Yeah, they've
Their
I've
food is
always thought
good.
their food was good.
And even though they do recycle it out every season,
Yeah.
it just comes back better and better.
Yeah, but we kept it low key. We did that. We visited our boy Smoothie at Barstool. It's just different because I feel like in the summer in Philly, like it flip flops. I feel like you would
So
think
weird.
Friday is the night to go out, but it's actually Saturday. I feel like there wasn't
Yeah.
that many people out, and like there was also the Phillies weren't playing. There was no sports in Philly that Friday, so it was kind of dead.
And June is such a weird month because like half the people are at the shore, but then half the people aren't going down yet. So like both the shore and Philly feel dead.
Right.
And it's just like a weird time. I was traveling all week. I literally
yeah.
just slept in my apartment.
This is
for
our
the
first time seeing you.
in like 5 days last night.
God.
I went on a skincare retreat last week with Dionis Skincare, which was incredible. We went to Newtown, Pennsylvania, and we fed the goats and we did goat yoga, and we stayed in New Hope, which I visited New Hope a bunch of times for day trips, but I've never stayed like overnight. We stayed in like a haunted hotel, and
Really?
it was honestly really fun. And like me and a few of the girls, we like went out to like the dive bars in New Hope. There was like no one there, but we were just having fun. And then I got
Wait, did the
home.
goats like when you were doing the yoga, did they like come at you?
So I'm not going to talk shit, but goat yoga was not for me because the problem is the goats poop. So they'll like step in their poop, and I didn't want them to then step on my yoga mat. So I was like, I'm good on this. So I did it, but I didn't take, so if you like grab food, the goats will come to you. And I was like, I don't want them to come to me for this set because I don't want any of the poop on me. So I stayed back and I fed them the day before on my own, but during the goat yoga, I was in the back. I was like, no.
Don't they also
no.
like climb on you?
Yeah, but they're like really cute. Like I was like nervous at first, but like goats are adorable. Like they kind of look like little dogs with horns. They were so sweet, and like the one like jumped on me, but it was like so graceful. They were like really sweet. I loved it.
This
I, like,
is so like new for me to
it
hear
was
from you.
So new. I had a full like. Okay, we need to talk about this. So we talked a little bit last week about solo missions, but another term that we use in our friend group is called like a capsule. And we got this term from actually Lena Dunham in Girls. If anyone watched Girls, and there was that amazing episode where Marnie has her own capsule episode.
The best episode.
It's one of
that
the
the
best
red dress
episodes of the
one?
show. Yep, where she runs into Charlie. And the whole episode is just on her character. It's called a capsule episode, according to, I don't know if Lena Dunham made that up or if that's just a writer's term. But we say that now when you like go on a journey without any of your friends, without your significant other. You can be around other people, but people that you're like meeting for the first time. And this week was just full of capsule episodes for me. So my first one was
love
going to
this.
Newtown. I was with a bunch of other creators that all lived in New York City. I had not met any of them before, and I just had like a fun time. And I was posting content, but I was low-key a little bit off my phone, which was really nice. And then I got back. I was home for like 2 days, and I was doing so much work that I really wasn't like doing anything fun. And then I went back to New York on Saturday. I spoke on a Tribeca Film Festival, which was a really cool career opportunity. Then I came back, and Lindsay and I went to Stone Harbor because I did a brand deal with Anthropologie, which was really full circle because that was like my first corporate job. So like to be able to now do a brand deal with them. And then I went back to New York on Monday, and I was there from Monday to Wednesday.
Too many times on the train.
Yes, too many times on the train. And then I was there from Monday to Wednesday filming a campaign that I can't talk about yet, but very excited. So,
and it's now Thursday.
And it's now Thursday. Yeah. So I have not been here.
It's time for you to get some rest, babe.
Yeah. So it felt really nice to
Wait,
sleep
I
in my
haven't
own
seen you
bed.
since last Thursday.
No, I've been like
wow.
off the grid, but now I'm like good for like the rest of the month. Maybe.
Okay.
We'll see. Shit always happens. But yeah, so I've been on a little travel journey. Also, today is a very special day when the episode comes out. It is Juneteenth. And we had a lot of great feedback from season 1. And someone wrote in that they wanted us to talk about having a diverse friend group, which I wrote down when I saw that. I was like, we should totally talk about that. So yeah, it's also, you know, it's Pride Month. So we're very privileged to have a diverse friend group, and also an outer circle of people that like are obviously extremely open-minded and accepting. But I guess like I can kick off the conversation for sure of like what it means. Like, I guess from like honestly a gay perspective, like I grew up kind of always like connecting with women. I find women extremely nurturing. And it wasn't like being gay was like tolerable, but we graduated high school in 2014. Gay marriage was not even legalized until 2015. So even if there was other gay guys in my school, we were not like friends. Like it was all like you put your head down and you didn't want to be bothered. So I've always appreciated having like a big girl group. And I've been like working on making more and more gay friends now, but I just love the girlies. I feel like you guys are like always there for me. And it's really nice to be like in a friend group where like there's so much support and so much love and just, I don't know, you guys just get me. How about y'all?
I feel like that, like you can piggyback off of that because this month is Pride. And I always tell Brandon that my favorite thing in the entire year, like better than my birthday, better than your birthday, is better than Christmas, is the Pride Parade. Because you go and you just feel such an overwhelming sense of love and acceptance and joy and celebration. And it's just like something that I look forward to because I don't have to worry about being harassed or being assaulted in a way where people's words might come off microaggression-esque. We hang out at a lot of different bars where, you know, sometimes the clientele isn't girly coded. So I always have my boxing gloves ready, at least in my back pocket, just in case somebody wants to say something to me. And I feel like at Pride, like the most someone's gonna say to you is like how beautiful you are, or how happy they are to see you, or it's just the best. Like I just love that. And as a Black person, a straight Black person being so accepted in a space that literally has nothing, I can't relate to any of it at all. It just, I can empathize, but it feels so nice.
Yeah. I think my favorite part about having a diverse friend group, I feel like I'm like in school right now. I feel like it's like icebreaker. But it's just being accepting, like just having acceptance. I feel like it's just so big to me. Just especially growing up in such like a white, like dominated, like almost an industry, like like schooling and like just I went to school with like all white kids. There was no one like me ever except till I got to college, which was lovely, like going to Philly and like making more Black friends, beautiful Black and brown people. Oh, my phone. But I love us being diverse because each of us, we learn so much from each other. And I think that's the best part about it. Like I learned so much from you, Brandon, in case you learned so much from us, like what not to say, what to say, what not to say, like in a joking way, but also in like such an educational way. And I think honestly it makes us so smart. And I just love that, I don't know, we just have so much knowledge and acceptance within our friend group.
Yeah, I think it's like you know, I come from like a very small hometown. Like I went to the same grade school from kindergarten to 5th grade, and then went to other grade school and high school at the same place from 6th to 12th grade. So like you're just surrounded by the same people, and it was so nice to come to college and to meet people, and then post grad to like meet people with such different life experiences. And I feel like we're also all very knowledgeable in different topics. Like what you said, like you guys have taught me things where it's like I wasn't necessarily doing that before, but what you're saying is like you guys, things that I don't think about because I'm not like in those positions in any way, whether it's gay, like anything, having people who are, I don't want to say like marginalized because that's not the right word, but having people who are in those experiences tell you what it feels like and tell you like what their experience is, it makes you look at your experience differently. And then you're like, oh, like I would have never thought that because I don't have to think that way. And now you're making me realize things. And I kind of mean that with like everything about our friendship. Like we're all in different job industries. We all grew up differently. We all really do come from, except for obviously Brenda and Lindsay, all grew up on the same street, but we all grew up very differently. So like in every context, I feel like you guys teach me things that I never had to learn in any way, which is really nice. I feel like if your friend group is all the same, that's, you know, it can be nice to share experiences, but are you like growing and expanding if when you look around, everyone has had the exact same experience as you for the last however long you've been friends? Like, I don't know.
No, it's so true. And like, I don't want to get into like a whole political talk, but I feel like as a white person, when I was in like high school, just being white was such like, you have privilege. And I felt like it was basically taught like, oh, the civil rights movement ended racism. Like everything was fine after that. When come to reality, racism still exists, obviously extremely prevalent. And it wasn't until I got to college that not only was I around different people, but I also felt like I was getting such a better education. I took a gender studies, and it was gender studies and it was race theory. It was a course that I took in college, and it was not my major. I went to school for fashion. I had to take it as a requirement, and thank God, because it actually ended up being the class that I learned the most in, and I learned so much. And I remember like my brain was just never the same after that class, and there was so much that I was like, holy shit, like I did not realize all of this stuff. I was just a privileged white person who never experienced racism, never knew what that felt like. So that was really great for me to like open my eyes. And I do agree with your point, Casey. Like it is so weird now, like seeing friend groups that almost aren't diverse. Like it's so funny. We went to a high school, and at the end of senior year, there's a tailgate where you wear your college shirt, and there's a picture on Facebook of all the quote unquote cool friends, like all the cool people in our high school. There's probably 85 people in that picture. There's one person of color in the picture. And it's just so transparent. Like there was a certain threshold, and I hope it doesn't exist today, but like back then, like if you were gay or if you were a person of color, you were almost, if you were cool, you were like a token. That was like, that's the cool black girl. That's the hot black girl. That's the funny gay guy. But that was like you were never still in the inner circle. And I really hope that has changed, because it was very obvious and it was fucked up.
I feel like a lot of, and maybe this will reach some of the viewers who have experienced this, but I know that Bailey and I, two black girls who grew up in a predominantly white community, and just from my personal experience, like even how Brandon said, our high school photo had one quote token black girl in it. That was just the reality of high school, and how, Brandon, you said you educated yourself down the line in that gender studies class. That is something that I used to say as a kid. When something bad would happen, or somebody said a microaggression or something that was hurtful, I would give them what I like to call the white people pass. And I would give them that pass in that, not saying anything bad about white people, but just saying, you don't get it. Like, you are living in Upper Dublin, and I'm the only like black that you see, and that's your parents' fault for not showing you the world. That's our school's fault for telling you the civil rights ended racism. Like that's horse shit. So I give you a pass on that, because ignorance is so bliss. But I feel like it was so difficult growing up in that environment, and like even making friends now that are black, I don't get like anxiety about it, but I definitely think differently. I wish it was just easy to say. And Brenda, maybe this is how you feel about making gay friends too.
Yeah.
I feel like I was so, it was so difficult for me to quote fit in, because I did go to a school where everybody was white, and I have 2 black parents, but when you look at me, you don't always see that. So to some of the black kids, I wasn't black enough, and to some of the white kids, I was white, but I was also still black, which was ridiculous to me, because when I went home to black.
Yeah.
So making friends, I'm always on alert. And I feel like sometimes it's my own community's fault. Like, we need to see each other in a different light. We need to just be more accepting of all, because black comes in all shapes, sizes, communities, etc. But my whole point to this was having a black friend in my immediate circle, like having Bailey, is something that I cherish and am so grateful for, because it's almost like having a sister. You literally are my sister. It's like you just get me differently than like anyone else would, especially because our upbringings were so similar in our community. So like, it's just those fears as a kid I don't have as much anymore, but it still sucks that it exists a little bit. But you definitely helped me with that.
Oh, Pookie.
Oh,
I was also thinking, like, it's just good to, like, just thinking about, like, us living together. Like, it's good you're around someone that, like, wears, like, a headscarf that goes to bed, or, like, certain, like, other black things I do, I don't know. But, like, just, like, those type of things, like, wrapping stuff in foil every fucking night. I don't know, I think it's really good, especially, like, in the pandemic, like, also knowing your friends' values, and also your, like, where they come from, their upbringing. Like, I always think about your mom and, like, dad, like, I don't know, like, when you think about, like 30 years ago, or maybe even 20 years ago, like, having, like, a white daughter live with a black girl, like, sometimes it's unheard of, or some families don't like that, but knowing that you obviously love me and, like, your family appreciates that, that's really nice. And during the pandemic, when, like, the Black Lives Matter movement, like, you went and did, like, a walk with me, like, with Lindsay as well, like, down the in the city. I thought that was so important. Like, it's so you think it's, like, not that big, but it's so important to me, and I think it's so, like, important to your friendships too, just knowing that they have those values and they stand up for what's right and all that.
Yeah.
It's also a level of comfortability. Like, I feel so comfortable being able to speak about current events, things in my life, things that happen to Brandon on the street for being gay. He can come to us and say, this is how I feel about this situation, and we can all, without coming back and being like, well, maybe, but it's like, we just have a complete understanding of each other, and like the issues that we go through are important to all of us. And I think having friends with morals and values that align with yours are so important, because it just makes conversation easier. It makes life easier. It makes you feel seen as the human being that you are. Like, it's just like a comforting feeling.
And I just thought about, like, when I, like, met Brandon at school, like, you're the first person I walked up to. Like, it's just so, like, beautiful to even think about that. Like, you just, like, I saw the comfort. I'm like, oh, that's my friend.
Yeah.
Like, now look at us.
Go
You
ahead.
go.
It's, well, you were just saying about during the pandemic, and it's so, that was really eye-opening for me, because I remember, like, I obviously knew what, like, microaggressions were. Like, I thought I knew them, but then, like, having, like, deeper conversations to things that I was like, oh, like, hearing you say that I'm like, oh, I get it. Like, and I'd witnessed them, you know, you witness things here and there, but hearing about actual microaggressions that people think they're being, I guess, nice by saying them, and they're so ignorant, like, it was like, oh, wow, like, people say a lot of fucked up shit that
also uncomfortability.
Yeah, like, it's like, I didn't know that was offensive, and then you learn it and you're like, damn, like, you guys had to fucking deal with that all the time. Like, hearing it that way, I was like, oh shit, like, that. I remember we had a conversation in our kitchen, and you were talking about all these different things, and I was like, oh damn, like, I didn't know that was a microaggression. Like, I felt stupid learning what that was, but you're not, like, taught that. You're taught what racism is, but you're not taught these, like, little comments that are actually really hurtful when you ask them or when you say them.
Yeah. No, I mean, you radiate ally in, like, everything you do, like, truly. And you always have. Like, there was never, like, a moment where I was like, oh, I need to tell, like, I can never think of something where I was like, oh, I need to tell Casey not to say that. And, like, you radiate ally on, like, a whole, like, a true spiritual level, because you also surround yourself with allies. Like, when you started dating Jake, and, like, I remember we went to dinner, and he was so educated on, like, systemic issues, and, like, spoke with such, like, intelligence. I was like, good. Like, you, because I think that's what's important too, and we can kind of segue into this with friends too. It's like, it's not enough to be, you know, an ally in yourself. You need to also surround yourself with like-minded people. And it's like, just because you don't say something messed up doesn't mean that you get a pass if you're going to surround yourself with people that treat you like that. And I think that is kind of the issues that like I have as an adult. Like I get less and less tolerant, as I think all of us should each year, of bullshit. And I'm like, that's cool that you've never said anything problematic to me, but if you're going to date someone or if you're going to be best friends with someone that does, you are the company that you keep. And if racism or homophobia or any kind of prejudice isn't a deal breaker for you in your friendships or in your relationships, then you are a little bit racist and homophobic in yourself.
I agree.
I see that so much with you because like you were saying, like you have so many girlfriends and I feel like there are so many people when I think about it, and you're like, oh my God, I love that girl, but her boyfriend is an asshole, or her boyfriend said this to me. And it's like, I can picture so many moments drunk at a bar when we're talking to a girl and she calls her boyfriend over and he just says something where all four of us just look at each other and we're like, ooh. And then we instantly try to find an exit from the conversation because
it's that
her boyfriend ruined it.
Yep. Yeah, it sucks. And like, I hate being that person being like, yeah, she's cool, but like, I have to be cognizant of that. Like, I don't want to surround myself with people that I don't feel like morally aligned with me and people that I just don't really feel like safe with.
Yeah.
Segueing into the friendship conversation in general, we also have been dealing with some friend drama, I feel like, the past few months. And I feel like we have some like advice and like some tidbits that we can share. And I guess I like low-key, I'm going to kick this off with an immunity necklace, but I no longer have any tolerance for the "they did nothing to me" friend. The "they did nothing to me" friend is the friend that someone could do you so extremely filthy, but if that person never did anything to them, they will never defend you. Like, they'll never jump in. And listen, there's a time and a place where, you know, like, sometimes there's a good time to not get involved in a situation, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about those people who will chronically never have your back, especially in circumstances where, like, let's say the friend that did you dirty has a beach house. Well, they're not going to burn their bridge with that person because they want to still use that person's beach house. Those people are opportunists. Like, wipe your hands clean of them as soon as you can, because you will never, ever, ever win that battle.
A friend to all is a friend to none. And that is a fact.
Whoa.
Period.
Wow, and I feel like an imbecile. I never knew what that meant until now. You really got to dumb it down sometimes.
Yeah, I feel like you need
Sound it
to,
out.
unfortunately, I have to say this, but I feel like we've all been in situations where like one of us is the quote unquote victim of a situation, whether it's like somebody said something to you, somebody did something to you, whatever it is. And like in those moments when you're down, you need people around you who can cover for you, like who can take control of a situation, whether it be like defending you or just whatever it is. Like if you don't feel like, if we were out in public and somebody did something to me, if I can't feel like you three would be able to like defend me and take care of me, then like that you shouldn't keep people like that in your circle.
Yeah.
It's like, we've talked about this before, but like, at least in my mind, you can call it a hierarchy, you could call it a social cue. If you have a problem with Casey, Bailey, or Lindsay, don't come to me about that problem unless like there is something that you need me to do to like diffuse the situation. But what I shouldn't even say problem. If you think that you're going to talk shit on one of the three people next to me, you thought wrong. You thought wrong. And I think that's where, when you have a conflict with someone in your friend group, that conflict should be between the two of you. And if you have your mom or your boyfriend that you can vent about to, go do that. Someone that's not actually in the friend group and literally it's their duty to just listen to you because they're either biologically related to you or dating you. Like, or a friend from out of town that is your friend from high school that you can fill in on a situation. Don't be messy and like try to get other people involved in your drama, because you're just gonna end up pissing everybody else off.
Yeah, I think we're also like at our big old ass age, there is no need for this like texting outside of the group chat drama and texting this person and texting that person and making it this big thing. Like, I think when it comes to fights within a friend group, like if you love that person enough, it is like you have to work at it. You have to like, if it's a fight, you have to text them outside of it or meet up or call them or put the work in to like overcome it. It's not, we're not in high school anymore where you can just like text outside of the group chat and then the next day come to school and pretend everything's fine. Like, you have to address the fight and move on, or else you're never actually going to move on from it. It's just superficial. And I think that that's a huge differentiator between like friends and best friends, especially as you get older. It's like people who are willing to be like, hey, well, you're pissing me off. This is why. What can we do to fix it?
And try not to like drag others in the friend group. Like if I'm fighting with Casey, I'm not gonna drag Lindsay. Be like, all right, get pissed at her. Brandon, get pissed at her. Like make it a 3-on-1. Like try to figure that shit out. Like life's too short to really even be like fighting. Like just I don't know, figure it out.
And how Brandon said, diffusing a situation. Like if we have a fight, the four of us, I hope and pray that if I piss off one of you, if you need to tell a friend, you would go to one of the others because you know me like that, and I know you have my best interest at heart. Anybody outside of this foursome, like I can't imagine being like, and Bailey did this, unless like Brandon said, it is my mom, a trusted friend outside. Like I just wouldn't. It's so messy.
Yeah, but people don't have that same mindset, which is why I think we've lasted as best friends this long, and why I think we'll always be best friends. Because like I feel like every other damn day I'm on TikTok hearing like, here's a story time of what my best friend did to me, and then it's like the worst story you've ever heard in your life, and it's like that was your best friend that did that to you. Like,
and I always think I'm like, let these bitches do something like that to me, but like I know you guys wouldn't. Like I feel like we've just like been through this for so many years now. Like we've come to this point where like we are like this, and I feel like you said, a lot of people aren't lucky enough to have that. But I feel like it does take. It's a relationship. Like a friendship is a relationship, and we've like put in time and effort to know and respect each other so well that like we never really come down to these little nitty gritty fights.
I also think like you need to be so for real about like what your definition of a friend is, because, or I guess in this case, even a best friend, like you can't act like you're so betrayed by someone if that same someone you would have never hung out with one-on-one. Like, I think at this age, it's a difference between high school. Like high school, you called everybody your friend, but it's like, if you can't imagine sitting down and having a dinner with someone or just the two of you, you're probably not as close as you maybe think that you are or say that you are. Because I've hung out with all of you. We have what we call sister nights, where like I'll text Casey, let's say, and be like, let's have a sister night, and me and Casey will go on a walk and we'll just talk about our lives very in depth. And I could do that with any of the three of you guys, but there are other people that I don't expect like a huge sense of loyalty from, because I know that I would never have a quote unquote sister night with them. I like hanging out with them in group settings, but I'm not like, maybe there's different like morals or different, you know, interests that aren't going to make us as close to the point where we could spend a whole night or a whole afternoon together, just the two of us. You know what I mean?
I think it's important for like large friend groups too, like group of like 5, 6, 7, you know what I'm talking about, large, to like be like one-on-one with the people within your group. Like don't always like, I feel like we have a larger friend group as well. Like there's 5 of us, there's 4 of us in here. Like we do have a larger friend group, and I love to like spend those quality time with the other girls in the group that I don't get to see every day, every week. Like I see you guys. I think it's so important to still build those friendships and not like, I feel like it's harder with big friend groups to like have those sub groups. I mean, it's kind of like, it's not, I feel like they're already out there. But I don't know, take the time and like be friends with everyone too.
Right.
Like expand your horizon.
For sure.
No, I agree. And like I also think like, especially now is where I feel like all we say is like as adults, but things do change as you fucking get older.
They really do.
Like everything changes, your relationships, all of that. And like your friendships are partly work now. Like you can't just text and be like, hey, want to go do this thing the same way that you could when you're in college. Now we have relationships and jobs and other responsibilities. So like you do have to put that work in. Like we all have friends from our hometown. Like I think about my hometown friends, and I don't get to see them a lot, but you have to put effort into like seeing people and like try to make those things that maybe you're like, oh my God, I don't feel like going to this right now. But when you go to it, you feel so much better. Like it's relieving. Like friendships take work now.
Yeah,
and
that's so true.
You have to put in the time to be able to like call someone your friend.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, if you don't want to put in the effort or energy to do that, you don't have to. Like everyone said, it's not high school, it's not college. You have the opportunity to say, hey, maybe this relationship isn't working out for me, and I don't want to sit and put time into this. And you don't have to have an excuse or a conversation where it has to be deep. It can kind of just be a gradual goodbye. That sounds so harsh, but we are older, things are different, and your time is valuable, and the people you spend time with, that's important. So you wouldn't want to waste that.
Yeah. With age too, and like I feel like it's so important. Don't forget about your long distance friends. Like my best friend since I was 10, she lives in Arizona, but we still keep in touch almost like every day, every week. And like we don't see each other as much in person, but I think it's so important to still keep those relationships and friendships, because just because they live across the world, we have iPhones now. Like, it's so easy to keep in touch. I feel like those relationships are also like, they're meaningful, and it's like hear from your friend once in a while. Like, I think it's so important.
Yeah. Okay, should we lighten things up?
I think so.
Yeah. Should we do a would you rather?
Yes.
I'm about to cry. I'm so emotional.
I have a really difficult would you rather that I've been thinking about my answer all day, and I don't know if I have one. Would you rather hit every red light for the rest of your life, or for the rest of your life you have to wait an extra 30 minutes every time you order food?
I knew you were going to say that next one.
So if you're going to go through the drive-thru, it's an extra 30 minutes. If you're going to pick up, if you're getting delivery, it's 30 minutes added.
Why would you ask?
Even when you go get coffee, 30 minutes to wait for your coffee. Or you hit every red light for the rest of your life.
I'm hitting that red light. Because you guys have seen me every time we go out to eat, and I'm usually the hungriest one. Like if I'm like in a famished like state, like it is always my food's the last one to come out, and I get irritated. No, I eat too much to be wasting 30 minutes. That's almost like what 90 minutes of my day.
Yeah.
What about if you cook?
If you cook, then I guess no, it's fine. But then you can never eat out again. You can never.
Maybe that's for the best. Maybe that's the universe saying you got to lose some weight, stop eating out.
Does everyone have to wait? Like, let's say we all go out to dinner. All y'all's food comes out.
If I pick red lights, but you pick food, you have to wait for your food. My thing is like, I want to pick the food because like I am always running late when I drive. So like already hitting red lights infuriates me because I'm always in a rush. So if I had to hit every single one all the time, I feel like I would die. Like at least with food, I could prepare. I could be like, okay, I know I'm going to have to wait 30 minutes. So I have to like
But if
prep.
you know you're going to hit those red lights, and it could be saving you something, like I feel like it's very Final Destination. Like say you're sitting at that red light, boom, T-bone. Like I feel like there's some good in those red lights.
Imagine Broad Street. Every one of those red lights, I'd kill myself.
I'm going to pick the red lights. I walk everywhere anyway, so whatever.
Yeah, that's true. What about you, Linz? I feel like you drive everywhere and you're.
I do.
She's not-
I
Yeah,
drive
that would really
everywhere and I
affect you.
love to eat. This is targeted. We're talking about diversity in friend groups and how we appreciate each other. But you're coming for me.
Targeted.
I'm going to say that I think you should pick the red light.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna pick the red light. I always say to Brandon, just how Bailey said, I always tell Brandon every single time we're late for something, there's a red light. I'm like, God is preventing me from something tragic. So I'm gonna put my faith in the Lord and just go with that because I don't want to be the T-boner. I also can't wait 30 minutes. Unlike Bailey, I get the sillies when I'm hungry, and it irritates everybody, including myself.
I forgot the last time it happened, but you guys have seen it. We're like, I'm damn near in tears. And I just see the like waitress, like or whatever, walking past us like everybody else's food.
That's one of my favorite things in this friendship is like when we all go out to eat and there's just something wrong with one of our orders. And it typically really only is Branson or Bailey. Like it rarely happens to me and Linz. Like either somebody's food is wrong, it's not here yet, it's a small portion. Like
It's that one for me.
No, you get this. Brady gets fucked over every time we go to Honey Grove.
Yeah.
And we all just look at each other and like can't stop laughing because it's just like we know that either one of them is gonna be pissed off.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is, it should be me because I always customize my order in a way that irritates everybody.
It irritates Brandon. I kind of find joy in it. I'm like, oh, get your bag.
It only irritates me at one restaurant because she quite literally redoes every ingredient.
No.
Which one
Yes,
is it, the
yes, you do.
wrap?
There is a restaurant at home. I will name drop it. Casey's Alley in Ambler. Let me tell you about Miss Casey's. They have the best fries, the best fountain beverages, the best burgers. Casey's Alley is going to feed you. But something that they did to me that hurt me deeply was they had a particular wrap on the menu and they just one day removed it. They said, oh, we're getting rid of it. No, you're not. Because every time I go in there, I find a wrap that is slightly similar and I customize it back to the old wrap.
So what is?
And they make it with glee.
What's your current order?
It's like a
It's like straw.
She
it's like-
changes. This is what she does.
He's
Like,
gonna
let's
do it
say
right.
it's a
He's gonna do it
chicken
right.
bacon ranch wrap
Yeah.
with grilled chicken. She'll say, could I have that with crispy chicken? Could I sub out the ranch for chipotle mayo? And then could I actually add cheese? But could it be cheddar cheese?
Don't forget about the vegetable.
What's the vegetable part?
I always need lettuce and tomato on
Oh
my
yeah,
wrap.
and then could I also add lettuce and tomato? And then sometimes they'll be like, that comes on sun-dried tomato. Could I get wheat instead? Like there'll always be like a bread option too. And instead of pasta salad, could I also get the fries? It's just.
I don't think I've ever been out to eat with you when you haven't, to some degree, customized your order.
Because I don't like the menu most of the time. Unless I'm going to Jean George's and the menu is cultivated, perfectly crafted by a chef for me, I will be switching out the grilled chicken for crispy chicken.
Absolutely, every time.
Nobody wants grilled chicken. I don't.
I want crispy chicken.
I want it now,
so
smothered in cheese.
All right, I'm actually really hungry, so we need to change the subject.
Wrap it up.
Let's move on to FYP. Mine is Please, 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 Sabrina Carpenter. I have to ask, do you guys like that song?
I love it. And I don't know if I will sit in the same room as this if there's slander. I think the way that she says motherfucker, like, oh, it like turns me on. It's so good. I love it.
Someone
love
get this
the way
girl
she
a
says
budget.
it. I just love the way she says that. I feel like she's in her Casey Musgraves era. Like her music is very like country poppy. I don't know. I love that song, but I can understand if you don't.
As
like
a
it.
stan,
You know, I'm a stan.
how does it rank?
I'm gonna be completely honest. I have not had time to really listen to the full song, I have a lot of time in the world, believe me. But I haven't had a chance to watch the music video yet. I've been late on that. But because of TikTok, I've heard it so much that I feel like there's 0 point for me to really listen to the song. But I love her bad. But like I feel like I love the music video, the snippets I've seen. I love everything else. Just haven't heard the full
Is
song.
Barry in this one?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is your homework for tonight is to watch.
I need to watch
music
that
video.
and the JoJo Siwa music video still.
You could skip that one.
No, don't skip it.
Yeah, honestly, that's like the only thing on my For You page too is that song.
Yeah, I follow her, but she's like reposting every single video that uses that song. So I'm like, is this like, it's good like marketing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's stuck in my head.
I don't want to take any credit away from her, but if that was her doing, then good for her. But if she has a publicist that was like behind pushing that out, genius.
Well, I saw something, and it was apparently at Coachella. Emma Chamberlain had up a sign that said, "Please, please, please play Espresso," because Espresso had just come out. And I remember like saw a video of like Sabrina being like, "Oh, please, please, please," like. I feel like that was such like placed at that same exact time.
Oh, that just made my skin
Yeah, so when I
crawl.
look back, I'm like, oh fuck. So that's so smart too.
A really cool Easter egg. I don't know if you guys know this, but the title card of the music video, it says like, please, please, please. Andre,
Yes.
he's the one who designed it.
Made
A guy
it.
that Brandon knows that we've known for a while. He's a DJ and he's like a really cool graphic designer, but he fucking made her title card.
Wow.
And I was like, that's like the coolest thing ever.
Wow, that's fucking
Yeah.
amazing.
So technically, Bailey, you and I met Sabrina Carpenter.
you're right. You're right.
Hey, we met her sister.
Yeah, that's
Sad.
true.
We went to college with her sister. Crazy. Anything else on y'all's FYP?
Wait, do you like this song? Okay, we can move on.
Yeah,
I'm
that
gonna-
high pitch octave hit it.
Yeah, I
for
don't
us.
want to like hurt Casey's feelings.
It's okay, I'll
It's not
allow
that
it.
it's a bad song. I just like I'm like weird with pop where like for me pop songs go into one of two categories. Like one on replay I'm bopping to, I'm dancing to. The other category is I don't hate the song, I don't mind it, but I could never envision myself like putting in my AirPods and like listening to that.
Yeah.
I feel like when I listen to music, so I'm in a very specific mood. I either like want to party or I want to like kind of unwind and like vibe. And I think that's sometimes my issues with girly pop is like I only want to listen to it when I'm like in the mood to dance and go out. And if I don't like it, then I don't really want to listen
Yeah,
to
it's definitely not that kind of song. Like when
Yeah.
I listen to it, I want to be in like a silk robe, getting ready in like a really nice bathroom. So it doesn't
see
fit
that.
in either of the two categories
Exactly.
that you said.
Yeah, that doesn't- it
because
doesn't
I
make
don't
me
do
wanna
makeup.
dance.
I feel like I like miss out on all the great like get ready with me
Yeah.
tunes. And I agree that would be like a really good like get ready with me tune.
Yep.
Well, on your vibe you're on, have you listened to the new like Charlie XCX, like the Brax? I feel like that is like so up
Y'all know.
because she's on my For You page.
360 is
Yeah.
my favorite song right now. Song of the summer, I fear.
I sent you a TikTok because she was like, I wrote this song, and she was like, you're walking through a party, you're in the corridors, like the full song. She was like, now you're in the like actual part. She's like, now you're in the bathroom, touching up. Now you go back into the party. I'm like, I love this bitch.
Wow, she did a full vis.
She did a full visual like brand just for one song, and I'm like, this is like, and she's like, I don't know if she's on tour, but she's at the Brooklyn Mirage, and like, I'm like, oh, like that is the vibe, like
Yeah.
she's the girly. But one thing that's also on my For You page, I won't get too much into it 'cause it's about someone else's relationship, but Tiana
It's like something with an R.
Yeah.
She's an NFL wife. She was dating the guy on the Bears.
Bengals.
The Bengals, yeah. She was big during the Christmas season when all the NFL wives were going to like the gifting parties. I remember watching her full ass gifting video. But She posted a video to please, please, please.
Yes, multiple videos of please, please, please. And she had just gotten engaged. He just proposed Cody Ford, I believe his name is, first and last name. Look him up for the Bengals. And she was like, she had a massive rock. So when she's saying please, 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 and she like balls up her fists in the TikTok, there's no wedding ring or no engagement ring anymore. So all the comments, whatever. And apparently the Redditors are saying that he was smooching on some girl, like, because Tiana was out of town. She was in Paris, not out of town. She was across the fucking water. And her fiance was out and about in Cincinnati, just asking for girls' numbers, bartenders' numbers. Apparently he was kissing some girl. But it's crazy that like having such a public relationship, like public, like I feel like if you follow them, you know they're dating. And in Cincinnati, he was doing all this shit and thought it wasn't going to get out. And that's just, it's yucky.
Yeah.
So it's so public.
I like watching her because I saw like all 4 of her videos, and then I read the comments, and all the comments are like, wear your ring, wear your ring. And it just made me want this podcast to reach a level of success where people care about me that much that if I posted a TikTok and my hand was in it, that they would notice something's wrong. Like no one in my life loves me that much to notice like these small details. And then they're like listing everything she's done in the past 48 hours and everything he's done. And I'm like, damn, y'all love her so much. I just want that feeling just once.
I'm waiting on an edit, like a cute, like Y'all don't think about that?
You should make it.
I will. I thought about like, let me just get on CapCut and just put a whole bunch of videos of me together.
Oh, please.
Make a fake account, upload it. Oh my God, who put this up?
Alrighty, let's kick off our immunity necklace segment. Casey, I heard you're feeling feisty today.
I finally have an immunity necklace. And I think that people need to be less comfortable asking for things. I think that there are people, now listen, let me put a disclaimer that obviously there are things you should ask your friends for, and obviously there are things that it's nice to reach out and get a helping hand. But then there are a lot of fucking other things that you can do on your own, and you don't need to make everyone else's problem. I feel like you should exhaust all possible options of doing it yourself before you reach out to other people. Because to me, we are all fucking in the trenches. Even when we're having great weeks, you're still going through it. We all have jobs. We all have stress. We all have
jobs.
We all, you know what I mean. We all have these things in our life. And like for other people to just add something to your list when you have so much going on, and then you want to be a good person, so you're like, oh, I can help you, but like you shouldn't feel like you always need to help other people because they can't help themselves.
I'm going to run that back and make it my ringtone, my alarm, because I have so much difficulty with doing that. And that's why I end up in spaces where people do not exhaust all their resources. They come right to me. So thank you for that, Casey.
It's just crazy when I hear like when people ask for certain things, or like, it's not even, I guess, so much of like what they're asking for. It's just like the comfortability to have like no, like are we even like that close of friends for you to ask for something? Or I'll hear like people ask my friends for things, and I'm like, damn, I know I need to work on asking for help more, but that's like, I would never ask somebody for that.
I think a word that could be helpful in this conversation is entitlement. And that is really what I think you're putting down, because there are people who, it's not that they're comfortable. They actually are to an extreme where they feel entitled, where they feel like it's not crazy to ask you for something so outlandish because they're entitled to do it. And some people's entitlement goes so far beyond the stretch of reality that that's all I'm going to say.
That's a perfect way to put it.
Period.
Wow.
Let that resonate, girlies.
Anyone else?
No. Pretty good this
Okay,
week.
we'll keep it clean. Well, I have a really great unsolicited recommendation.
What is it, Brandon?
Decaf espresso martinis. Now, I really don't have like caffeine doesn't really have an effect on me, to be totally honest, until, my panty. So I've been, chilling a little bit on the caffeine. And recently I was out to dinner with a friend, and she asked the bartender if she could have a decaf espresso martini. And I asked her if I could taste it, and it tasted the exact same as my espresso martini. And I was like, wait a minute. Like, I'm going to start ordering these now on nights where I don't want to like party and go out all night. And sometimes it really depends on the restaurant, because sometimes restaurants don't even use real espresso and you can drink like 7 and it has no effect on you. But others, very rarely, I have found use real espresso. And there was a time in my life where I drank 3 espresso martinis one night, and I kid you not, I was up until 8 a.m. Did not go to sleep that entire night. So if you love the taste of an espresso martini, but you do have like, you know, some kind of reaction to caffeine, ask the bar if they'll make you a decaf espresso martini. It tastes just as good. You won't get any jitters, any anxiety, and you're still going to get drunk.
I didn't even know that was an option.
Yeah.
And it's not at every bar. Like I went to one bar the other day and she was like, we don't have decaf. But I went to Barclay Prime and on Friday, and I asked if I could have one. She was like, of course. I was like, cool, great.
Those places are supposed to have coffee service. If they serve actual coffee, you can always get a decaf. But
true.
I feel like if you're at like a crappy bar, they're probably not, like you said, not even using real coffee.
There's mine.
Anybody else have an unsolicited rec?
Mine, I mean, I'm literally a couch potato. If you guys have not caught up on that, picked up on it. Mine is another TV show. I just finished Yellow Jackets. It's on Showtime. Watch that wherever you can get Showtime at. It's so good. It's very like, I don't know. It's like Survivor Lost kind of like. It's this group of girls. They're on a soccer team and they get like lost in the mountains. And just like survival. What was that movie on Netflix?
The Cafe Society of the Snow. Where they get trapped
Society
in
of
the
Snow.
Andes.
It's kind of like that. I think it was like
that was terrifying.
I think it was kind of based off of like that movie, but it's about girls and it's very like they do a really good job of flashing it back to the girls in 1996 that did like the got trapped, and then present day girls, like the same people, and like their psychological, like it's so good.
Wait, so is it based on a true story?
No.
Okay, thank God.
It's not. No, it's not. But like I can see like they did like
parallels.
cannibalism. Like it's kind of like Society of the Snow. I'm like, damn, this is good. So it's good. That's what I have.
You got one, Linz?
I don't really think I do. I'll come prepared next week. But
mine's a real simple one. But the e.l.f. Power Grip primers for my makeup.
It's hard.
I've been seeing everyone talk about it, and I'm one of those people, when I find a makeup product, I've been using the same foundation since I was literally like a freshman in college. Like I don't change shit. I don't test things up. I have really sensitive skin, so if it works, I keep it. But my primer was out the other day, and I was like, you know what? Let me just try this. It was the only one at the store. That shit is fantastic.
It's a milk dupe.
It's literally amazing.
Yeah.
So if you've been seeing it all over your For You page, and you're like, I haven't tried it yet, bitch, try it. It's so good.
Everything e.l.f. is good.
Yeah.
Their lip oil, wearing it right now.
Oh, you've been on e.l.f.
That shit, I'm so mad that went viral because
they're not paying you. Put that
you're
down.
right. You're right. Blur this out, Justin.
it's all sold out everywhere. I've been to 3 Targets.
No way.
They're all sold out.
Where did I get this one? I think it was out in the county. Yeah.
I was pissed. I was like, damn, I
Damn.
hate when things go viral.
Yeah, no, it's good. We gotta blur that out. No free promo. We should stop doing these recommendations if no one's paying us. Actually, Showtime, unless
Give us a cut.
damn, fuck that.
All right, y'all. Well,
This was good.
Fabulous episode. Hope everyone has a fabulous day. Keep everything between us girlies, but also learn some lessons from us and maybe share that wisdom with your girlies. And if they're not a girly, maybe they shouldn't be your girly anymore.
Period.
Bye, guys.
Bye.